Matt Buckler, let's get to the first feature event lineup.
And it will be car number 1 who will be scheduled to bring the field around, as he is from Stafford, sponsored by Wild Things Kart. And the driver is Corey Casagrande.
Scheduled to start alongside will be car number 00. That, of course, is the Adopt-A-Pet machine from Bristol, Connecticut, Joe Nojek.
This driver has improved ever since the start of the season in car number 60. He's in the Burnham Racing car from East Hartford, the farmer, DJ Burnham.
Gus Auto Repair brings us car number 88. He's been really turning some heads from Indian Orchards, Dwayne Provost.
A 3-time Dare Stock champion will be next in car number 71. In the Car Care Collision Center car, here is Storman Norman Sears.
Rafferty Fine Grading brings us a 23 out of Ellington, Connecticut for Kevin Gambacorda.
Then it will be car number 58, our point leader. He comes from Plainville in the Mike's Auto and Body Shop car. It's Sean Tebow.
Here's one of the top guns in this class, the Beckman Auto Center number 38 from Plainville, Connecticut, George DeSara Jr.
Crazy Bruce's Liquor brings us the fluorescent colored number 24 car. He is from Farmington, Jesse Hines.
Botticello Incorporated brings us the 19 from Manchester for Carla Botticello.
And 50 Back Beer, the new sponsor for the driver of car number 5. He is from Pepperell, Massachusetts, Chris Cook.
Well, it looks like we are about to commence. We've just given him the official route send-off. Family Ford of Enfield providing us with the safety services trucks used here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. They'll pull back center stage, and now we'll go down on pit road to the first of 2 individuals that'll cover in the action there, our good buddy Cal Shenanet.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ben Dodge. This week the storms really affected the drivers here in the limited late model series. 2 drivers are not here tonight. Big Bill Davis in the 31 and his teammate, the 11 of Marshall Usher. Both of these drivers affected. They said trees fell near the shop, not allowing them to get in and out of Munson, so these drivers will not be appearing here tonight. A tough break for Big Bill Davis, a former driver this series, and a former enduro driver as well. A tough guy, always to look for at the front of the pack.
You know, Big Bill Davis is such a big-hearted and kind individual. He has chose, Cal, to help his community and continue to work within his community. That is a real credit, and that's what this country is based upon. Individuals giving and caring for others in a time of crisis. Right now, our attention shifts to our first feature event of the night in this USG program, and here's Matt Buckler with the call.
So Corey Casagrande is the man on the point. Let's see what kind of getaway he gets. None at all. And Joe Nojek is able to rabble-rouse his way to the early advantage, followed by Dwayne Provost.
Out in front, a little smoke coming further back in the field when all of a sudden the yellow flag comes out, and apparently the NASCAR officials did not like that start initially. And the reason for that, we believe, is one lane got off to a little bit better start than the other lane. And we've just been informed that we're going to have a little bit of an adjustment made in the schedule. So following the limited late model division, the Dare and the SK Light divisions are being reversed. So the Dare stocks will be the next feature, then the SK Light modified. So a little bit of a change in the program. Nothing too severe, though, Matt.
No, we can handle it. Now, if you would like the thrill of a lifetime, get a pit stopper program. The big numbers are still out there. And we will be giving away 5 USG hats as we salute our event sponsor tonight, USG, the official building product supplier of the NASCAR Whelen All-America Series. Whether it's at the racetrack or on the job site, every minute counts. That's why USG building products are designed for high performance, easy handling, and a fast finish. Look for USG products at your building supplier or at any place where top building materials are sold. We'll be giving away hats, and our last winner will be able to be the official starter of either tonight's SK Modified race or the late model race. This time things are much smoother, but once again, Casagrande has trouble. He started out okay and then faded to oblivion.
Well, the field is under green and wasting no time at all at the point. The school bus yellow, number 71 for Norm Sears. It sets the pace. Keep your eyes on Sean Thibault with car number 58. He's already moved into the third spot. Burnham, the racing farmer, is up among the top 4 cars, and Nasura sets in position number 5. Now things are getting settled in. Casagrande, who had a problem getting the car into gear, seems to be running okay. He'll follow Carlo Botticello, and look at the battle for the 4th spot, Matt. Wheel to wheel and side by side.
And George Becerra gets the advantage of DJ Burnham, and now poking his nose in is Kevin Gambacorta, a former champion, and he is able to power surge his way underneath DJ Burnham.
Good battle right there. They continue to run in single file formation, but the hunt is on, and Sears is way out in front. Meanwhile, car number 88 still in a strong second. Dwayne Provost, the last 3 Friday nights, he has been a contender. A little guy, not a big budget, but a huge heart, and he is showing a great run again, currently setting in the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, here comes Sean Thibault, the point leader, moving into 3rd. Further back in the field, Carlo Botticello is pressuring Burnham. There's Casagrande and Hines. They're all in this. We've got a 4-car, making a 5-car battle as Chris Cook moves in, makes a little contact with Hines.
Yeah, he took a little forearm shiver against Hines, and he was able to pick up the spot at the front of the field. Leading by a cow pasture is Norm Sears, looking for his 2nd win of the year. Then the fun begins. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th could fit underneath an eye patch. Here comes Thibault to take over the advantage, and Sarah is right there with him. So we have a couple of drivers from the Plainville running 2nd and 3rd.
And they are really putting on a show. Provost is forced to settle back into the 4th spot. Gambacorta's got 5. Burnham still holding off Botticello, and Casagrande is right behind Botticello in a challenge there. 5 of the 20 laps are up on the board, and Norm Sears is way out in front. Like days of old, he is a dominant car in this division in 2011. Meanwhile, here comes Thibault. He's trying to, well, shake off the pressure being applied by the Nasura machine as they head down the backstretch. Hines again has no luck at all. Car 24 started in the 9th spot, and Jesse Hines is down on pit road map.
So he is out of the competition. The battle intensifies for 2nd as Thibault has a spot, but all over the back bumper like a Christmas tree ornament is that number 38 car for Nasura. A gap exists between them and Dwayne Provost. Dwayne Provost in 4th place right now, and he is finished 4th in the last 3 races. So Dwayne Provost, he's at home in that number 4 position.
He certainly is, and consistency truly pays off, and you can see just that as he is not about to relinquish that spot, and Gambacorta is still applying the pressure all over him as they work their way down the backstretch. Out in front, he is pulled away, and he's pretty much maintained lap after lap consistently the number 1 spot. It's Norm Sears, the leader of the pack. Fastest car on the racetrack has been George Nasura with a 22.256. On the last circuit by, Norm Sears won a 22.377. Challenge is on, and this time 2 flags in the air crossed means half of the event is now history. The 2nd half is where the action is, Matt, and we've got a barn burner of a battle shaping up for 2nd on back.
As Thibault trying to put a little daylight between himself and George Nasura in car number 38. Provost looks quick in car number 88. He looks like a much different driver than the guy who piloted that car last year in his rookie season. And Gambacorta is right there in 5th. Now remember, Corey Casagrande got off to such a dreadful start. Right now he's nipping at the heels of Burnham as they helter-skelter their way into the 1st corner. Corey Casagrande is not giving up, but he can't get by Burnham as he tries to Jenny Craig his way underneath, and that isn't working either.
He's still applying the pressure rather impressively. 11 laps are up on the big board, and that is currently the biggest battle on the racetrack further back in the field. Casagrande looking racy to the inside. Burnham still guarding the spot. Up in front of that pack of cars, they are pretty much single file, and Sears is again setting the pace with a best lap of 22.377. Meanwhile, Sean Thibault in 2nd, 22.512. And now all of a sudden, Nasara is starting to, drift back just a bit, changes his line and strategy, and guess who moves back into contempt? Car number 88 for Dwayne Provost has moved into the third spot. He is really turning in a good run here tonight.
And this could be his best finish of the year if he keeps the nostrils of his car ahead of George Nasara. Then it's Gambacorta next as they whirlpool their way off the corner. It is still a great battle between DJ Burnham and Corey Casagrande. Now Corey, the persistence has paid off as he is able to dynamite his way underneath that 60 car.
Well, that's the type of performance we expect out of him. He was so strong in the Dare Stock division, just getting used to this class and looking stronger each and every time by. Speaking of strength, Nasara now muscles his way back under Provost. Gambacorta goes by, and Provost is dropped back to the 5th spot from the 3rd position. 5 laps remain in this event, and Norm Sears way out in front. Meanwhile, T-Bolt is trying to reel him in. The clock is ticking. Nasara is up to the top 3. Gambacorta for 4. And in the 5th spot is Dwayne Provost. Corey Casagrande, a great comeback. He is currently in the 6th spot.
Yeah, he had trouble in the early going on the start, but right now he is making up for it. Here comes Norm Sears as he is making it look easy, almost like he has a recliner in the cockpit of that number 71 car, leading by about a solar system over the 58 of Sean T-Bolt. Norm Sears had the point lead in the early going. Then he had a 10th place finish that's kind of set him back, but right now he is 2 laps away from victory number 2.
2 laps remain, and he has really turned up the wick here tonight as he is literally way out in front as lap number 19 when they come to the stripe, and the white flag will be given to car number 71. Meanwhile, T-Bolt in a comfort zone of his own as the point leader currently sets in 2nd. Off the turn, there's the white flag. No surrendering for the commanding lead of the man who is going to be a shoo-in, it looks like, for the victor. And that is, of course, car number 71 for Norman Sears, started way back in the 5th spot, Matt.
As he is on his own island in car number 71, as he gets ready to freight train his way across the line, Norman Sears has taken down win number 2.
Finishing in the runner-up spot is Sean T-Bolt. Nasara will finish in the 3rd spot, and Gambacorta will unofficially finish in position number 4. Then in the 5th spot is Dwayne Provost. Our buddy Cal Shannonette is there, and he is there with a very happy winner, Norm Sears. Cal?
He's climbing out of the automobile right now, the 71. Tonight's winner of the limited late model, Stormin' Norman Sears. Jump into the air. Norm, good to see you as always, buddy. I'll tell you what, that restart there, you just drove away from it, and how good was this car? It looked great, and that's got to feel real good tonight after coming back from the edge of agony to the victory from the edge, coming back for a win.
We had to put a radiator in us before we got here tonight in the pits. I got to thank Donnie from Rad. I'll tell you, Barry, it's been a long week, buddy. I'm glad I got you a win. Art, my buddy Art's here tonight. I don't know where he is, but it's a tough night. Art, I got to say, this one's for you, buddy. And it's tough. He knows what I'm talking about. And I got to thank my wife, my son. Jake's here tonight helping out. Car Care Collision. Corey's here, all the guys are. It's a good night for what we went through. We had a busy week at the shop, clipping a car and stuff, and I'll tell you, the training was freaking bulletproof in this car tonight. I'll tell you, these restarts were awesome.
Congratulations, Norm. Good to see you back here in CarQuest Victory Lane.
Thank you.
So Stormin' Norman Sears takes down the win for the Car Care Collision Center's number 71.
Now, we didn't have qualifying tonight for the late model, so we weren't able to tell you that Tom Fern will not be behind the wheel in car number 92. And the driver who took that car out in practice tonight, well, he's won more races than anyone else at Stafford, so he should be a pretty good man behind the wheel. Ted Christopher will be driving the 92 car that is normally driven by Tommy Fern.
Now think about this. Not only is Ted Christopher in the late models tonight, Kid Rock, Keith Rocco, is in the late models. So you've got 2 of the very best in open wheel, and both contending in this late model feature event
Yeah,
in
what
full
about
body cars.
And what about the guy who won last week? You have to
Yes,
put
sir.
him in that class, Woody Pitcat.
You got it. Let's go now to Cal Chenanet, who has more.
Frustration is the word for here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It has to go to Nick Salva. A couple weeks ago, his right rear tire was knocked off in an accident up in turn number 2. Last week, he finished 3rd. He said, I came so close to having that win. The only problem was we were down on power. Come to find out, when he made it back to the shop, and after last week, they found one of the plug wires were actually burnt out. He says it's fixed, and we're fast as ever, so watch out for Nick Salva once again here tonight in the Dare Stocks.
In the Dare Stock division, their contingency partners include New England Racing Fuels, supplier of Sunoco, the official fuel of the Stafford Motor Speedway, presented by New England Racing Fuels. Well, off turn number 4, get ready. We're about ready to start our second feature in tonight's program. Coming up following the conclusion of this event will be the SK Lights, the SK Modifieds, and the late models. You've had the opportunity to meet your favorite late model drivers in Bosch Spark Plug Autograph Alley. They will be the final feature event in today's program. And as Matt mentioned, Ted Christopher, Woody Pitcat, along with Kid Rock, Keith Rocco from the Whelen Modified and the Whelen All-American Series. They are top dogs in open wheel racing, and they know how to get the job done in a full-bodied car as well. Down the backstretch, the Whelen lights are off. Whelen, of course, worldwide suppliers of lights and sirens. Whelen, the sponsors of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour and the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series.
So we get ready to turn them loose in what should be a very scintillating 15-lap Dare Stock feature. Remember, Kyle Casagrande has won more victories than anybody else with 2, but the point leader is Andrew Hayes in that red number 6 car. So they are off to a great start. Chris Fluckinger, the rookie driver, he is the class of the field as they go into turn number 2.
Joshua Wood makes some magic, car 51. He started in the 5th spot. In less than 2 turns, he's worked his way into 2nd. Look out, here comes Dad, car number 15, Donnie Wood, and never count out the number 7 of Kyle Casagrande. They come off turn number 4. They're side by side in a bid for the lead. It's Wood versus Fluckinger as they head to turn 1.
And Wood is able to warp speed his way underneath the Fluckinger car, trying to do the same thing as Vince Gambacorta in car number 23, and he executes a move, and it's been said, never count out Kyle Casagrande, and he just stomps his way into the top 3.
He works his way and it creates some magic inside, outside. Coming off the turn, he now picks a line, almost bump drafting like he's running at New Hampshire International. He currently sets in the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, further back, Salva is there. Here, oh, trouble. We've got one around. It is Gambacorta who goes around directly in front of Casagrande. Meanwhile, the Woods car, both Joshua Wood, car 51, and Donnie Wood run 1st and 3rd. And the meat in the sandwich suddenly becomes Kyle Casagrande with car number 7.
So he must feel like the icing in the middle of an Oreo as he's surrounded by the Woods. And here comes Don Wood as he makes a vapor trail move underneath the 7 car. And Don Wood, he has been able to climb into the top 2 position. Trouble for Saunders as that car is bobbing and weaving in turn number 4. It looks like a belly dancer as he loses a spot, and now the yellow comes out.
Yellow is out for a car that is stopped beneath the USA hauling and recycling billboard coming off turn number 2, and I believe that is Johnny Walker with car number 01. That is the car that's stranded there, and he's looking to receive the assistance of the Chuck's Towing Wrecker. Maybe, no, he does get it fired back up. Never count out David Arute or the point leader. Let's see what's going to happen as we're about ready to get him fired back up off turn number 4. Casagrande in the outside lane, Wood, Joshua Wood on the inside lane. Side by side, green flag is out, a textbook start, and it appears that Joshua Wood has a slight advantage, and Dad's going to follow him through. Running very strong as well, again, is car number 72. That, of course, is the Salva machine. It started in the 6th spot and is currently among the top 4 cars.
Remember, he had a podium last week, and he is breathing fire against Cliff Saunders in the 4 car, trying to move up on the outside. Andrew Hayes, our point leader, put some distance between himself and Chris Fluckinger, and that 6 car is on the move.
Hayes now looking very racy. He started way in the back of the field. He's already come to the top 6, and he's not going to settle in for the 6th spot. He's about to apply some pressure to Saunders for position number 5. 5 of the 15 laps are now complete. Joshua Wood, the son, is hunted down by the dad, Don Wood, and then it's Kyle Casagrande, and now Saunders moves back into the 4th spot. Salva has to settle back into 5, and here comes car number 6. Andrew Hayes from 12th. The point leader is showing why he is the top gun in this class in the Friday night event so far this season. He has been a huge factor. Car number 5, Andrew Marquez, has been given the black flag, so he'll be dropping off the pace for something leaking and dropping from beneath his car. Back to turn 4, here comes the lead pack.
And a pretty good of a cushion between Joshua Wood and dad, Don Wood. A convincing third is Kyle Casagrande looking to make a move on Wood. Now Cliff Saunders in that number 4 car, he starts the night second in the point standings, only 10 points behind Hayes. And Hayes, he's on the back bumper of the Nick Salva car like a tattoo as they blast their way off the 4th corner.
Great battle still going on for the 2nd and 3rd spot. Meanwhile, Don Wood is hunted down by Kyle Casagrande, who continues to run at his tire tracks as they head down into turn number 3. 8 laps are up on the board in this 15-lap event. Challenge a little further back. Salva gets pressured by the 6 car, and Andrew Hayes wastes no time at all and picks up yet another position. Good racing action there as now Hayes has moved into position number 5.
So Hayes is in a blaze in that car number 6 as he tries to corral the 4 car of Cliff Saunders. Remember, Saunders running second in the points. The plot thickens at the front of the field as Don Woods, hanging on like a luggage rack behind him, is a 7 of Casagrande as they whiplash their way into the 2nd corner. Kyle Casagrande is not giving up in his battle against the former champion, Don Wood.
Down the backstretch, nose to tail, they start to string it out. Josh Wood pulling away from dad, but Kyle Casagrande isn't about to let Don Wood get far out of his sight. They come off the turn, now still in single file formation. Look a little further back in the field. There's the point leader, still setting in the comfort zone in position number 5. Leader is still Josh Wood, and now Kyle Casagrande has dropped off the pace, and a huge margin between 2nd and 3rd suddenly appears.
Right now he needs a Hubble telescope to keep track of the 15 of Don Wood as he was almost sitting on his lap, and now he has fallen off. 4th is Saunders, and Andrew Hayes has tried a lot of things to try to get 4th place away from Saunders, and nothing has worked yet. Here comes Josh Wood, the Blue Bullet, car number 51, as he is able to jackknife his way off the corner. And Joshua Wood is 2 laps away from victory, and let's see if Dad can do something about that.
Well, they run in about the same distance between 1st and 2nd as 2nd from 3rd. Down into turn number 3 and off the turn, it looks like Joshua Wood is still the leader of the pack. This time the white flag is out, nobody's surrendering among the top 5 cars.
Josh Wood has a 2nd and 2/3, has not won yet, and he is 3/4 of a lap from making it happen. Don Wood, car number 15. He doesn't have an answer just yet. Here comes Josh. He is the boss as he travels into turn number 4. Josh Wood still has plenty of adrenaline left.
Down to the stripe. A great victory for Joshua Wood. Donnie Wood to finish in 2nd. Kyle Casagrande for 3rd. And rounding out the top 4 will be the number 4. And that, of course, will be Cliff Saunders over the current point leader, car number 6, for Andrew Hayes.
And if you've ever want to live large, everyone will be watching you when the field turns out of turn number 4. Right now, everybody is watching our winner as he climbs out of the race car. That is Josh Wood. And now he is standing by with Cal Chandonnet.
Well, the Woodman has done it. Joshua Wood taking down the win in stunning fashion. Joshua, did you think for a second, I'm not going to get the win tonight? You second, a third. You've been here so many times. How did it feel to take down the win?
Oh, man, the car was amazing all race. Even the heat race was amazing. I'd like to thank all my crew for this. Barry, my dad, Stitchy, Ernie, Tyler, Kevin, Norm, and all my sponsors, Rattle Machine for the amazing power, car care, BFR chassis, Berardi transmissions, custom wood floors, and Falls Alignment.
Oh, with a laundry list of sponsors, he gets it done tonight. Joshua Wood taking down the win here at the Jackaroo Stafford Motor Speedway on June 3rd.
Coming up next, the junior stars of NASCAR, 20 cars strong. These are the SK Light Modifieds, and starting at the point will be car number 59. That'll be the 59 of Rick Williams out of Haddam, Massachusetts, in the Williams Racing Enterprises Dodge Stealth.
Then it will be car number 07 from Stafford. He picked up new sponsorship this year, Caburst Advertising, along with Napa of Tallinn. The driver is Jay Goff.
Then it's the Bay Crane CWPM Cadillac, car number 44 out of Plantsville, Connecticut, for Tony Membrino Jr.
This driver getting better every lap from Broadbrook in the MTV Solutions car, number 89, driven by Cody Gneiting.
Here's a kid with a ton of talent, driving the United Roll-Off Services, number 84 from Waterbury, Connecticut, Joey Cipriano III.
The Scarecrow in car number 2 from Stafford. Here is Harry Keep the Change Wheeler.
Here's another talented driver, just needs a little luck, the Physical Therapy and Sports Medicines, number 18 from Montgomery, Mass, Kyle Spencer.
Then at car number 19 in the Gunsmoke Stables car, the driver will be Steve Greer.
Last week turned in a great run. He'll be starting 10th tonight with car number 12. The Racing Mason himself in the Frank Cardile Masonry, number 12 from Bolton, Connecticut, Frankie Cardile.
This driver is second in the points in the 00. It is Membrino Electric, bringing us Tommy Membrino Jr.
This guy's the defending champion and running up front in the point standings, starting in the 12th starting spot, driving car number 20. Tim Rose, Davidson Company, number 20 from Meriden, Connecticut, Matt Galco.
This driver made an impressive move in qualifying tonight in car number 16. In the main line, Heating and Supply Company car, it's Shane Prucker.
Perillo Racing brings us car 24 from Feeding Hills, Mass. It is Mike Perillo.
Another local guy in the Shark Cycle Victory in Polaris number 1 car, Bob Charland.
Then it's the Kopech Autos Truck and Service, number 66 from Palmer, Massachusetts. It is Dylan Kopech.
A multiple winner in this division in car number 11 from Middlefield, Tony Santangelo.
Car number 28, Mr. Hardluck, the Beecher and Bennett Funeral Services car. From Wallingford, Connecticut, Zach Haskler.
Another one of our teenage drivers in car number 77 in the Zio's Pizzeria car. Here is Tony Macero.
And then car number 27 met with misfortune in practice today. Was scheduled to be Earl Pelletier from Walcott, Connecticut. So starting scratch will be the 67 of Paul Tomasino out of Meriden, Connecticut. Now we head down trackside with Cal Chandonnet.
Galco and Tommy Barrett. But this year things have seemed to change. Right now it seems it's between Joey Cipriano and Kyle Spencer. Wherever these two are on the track, they seem to find each other. Much like the Cook-Evans rivalry of yesterday, it seems to have come right back here at the Jackaroo Stafford Motor Speedway in the SK Lights. The only real winner of all this is the fans. These two have gone door to door, fender to fender, and bumper to bumper. Let's see what they can do tonight. 20 laps up on the board for the SK Lights.
Well, the stage is set. The sponsors for the SK Light Contingency Partners includes the Davidson Company in memory of David Rowe, Gunsmoke Stables, and New England Racing Fuel supplier of Sunoco. Here's Matt Buckler with the starting call.
They rumble off the corner, and it's the Iron Butterfly, Rick Williams. He will flutter his way into the first turn ahead of Jay Goff. Also in the neighborhood is Tony Membrino Jr., and here comes Goff. He will razzle-dazzle his way into the lead.
But with him comes Cody Gniding with car number 89. Gniding goes up the hill. He is a rocket on the outside. He'll look to the bottom, then think twice of it. Cipriano has become a factor, and Membrino is muscling up some steam. Further back in the field, Rob Charland, he's there as a contender, trying to pick up spot after spot. Oh, we've got a bumper shot down the backstretch. That upsets Membrino, as the lead is now the veteran off turn number 4, Jagoff out in front.
But Cody Gniding, it is in his hip pocket as they go into turn number 2. Goff able to stay away. Trouble for Tony Membrino Jr. He goes into John Deere country in the middle of turns 1 and 2. He will come back out on the track, but when he comes out, he will be at the end of the field.
Meanwhile, Cipriano's closing up the gap. Gniding can feel nothing but heat from the radiator of the Cipriano machine. Out in front is Jay Goff. Now look out, here comes Kyle Spencer. Cal Chenanet told you he was going to be racy, and who was hot in qualifying? It was Shane Prucker, and he's just as hot now as he's threading the needle and coming to the front of this class.
He tries to go underneath. Rick Williams has the authority to do that. So they anarchy their way down the backstretch. Gniding has some room, trying to put a move on Jay Goff. They cross the middle of the turn together. Here comes Goff. A little bit of a giddy up on the outside, but we have Gniding, who takes over the lead by a clothespin over the 07 of Goff.
And Cipriano gave him a little bit of an assist that made it all work and create the magic. Cody Gniding has driven just about everything since he's been a youngster and set his sights on running in this division a year ago, and that dream has become a reality. Todd Owen has been helping him out. Week after week, he's been getting stronger, and look at Cipriano. Bid for it. White and blue is the winning combination at the point. 6 laps in, Cipriano digging in deep off turn number 4. Leader number 3, Matt, becomes Cipriano.
As they propane their way into turn number 2, Cipriano is the leader, trying to get to the bottom is Gniding, and he does. So now he is going to put the 84 under siege. Kyle Spencer in 4th, but has moved up closer to our triumvirate at the front of Cipriano, Gniding, and Goff. And Shane Prucker, one of the most improved drivers in the field, is there. And the point leader, Matt Galco, he is starting to make some noise in car number 20.
Pulling out of line, Shane Prucker goes down underneath Kyle Spencer. Give position number 4 to car number 16. Spencer fights back, little crisscross action as they work their way back to the line. Meanwhile, Galco, Mr. Smooth, currently sets in the 6th spot. He is the point leader and the defending champion. Good racing wherever you look. Cipriano still the leader of the pack. Here comes Gniding again off turn number 4, making a bid for it. Halfway down and halfway to go.
As Gniding all over the back bumper like a label on a soda bottle of the Joey Cipriano car as they scoot down the backstretch. Kyle Spencer, he said before the race he knows he has a fast car. He is proving it, running 5th, but he is surrounded by 2 tough young competitors. In front of him is Shane Prucker. Behind him is Matt Galco, and here comes Prucker out of line again as he tries to somersault his way underneath the 07 of Jay Goff.
Prucker looking good. He moves into a podium finish spot if he can hold on to that 3rd position. Meanwhile, Galco knows that the event is starting to unwind. Watch this kid. He is so patient and so smart. He runs to the,
comes together with Spencer.
Spencer and Galco come together, and Galco became a victim in that one. They gather it back, and Galco has lost a lot of spots on the racetrack. Kyle Spencer's machine is not up to snuff at this point. 13 laps and counting in this 20-lap event.
As that 18 car appears to be on life support, he lost a lot of positions, so did Galco. And at the front of the field...
trouble. Jay Goff is off the pace. Once the leader of the event, man, car number 07 has pulled to the bottom of the racetrack momentarily. He's got a mechanical problem, but is trying to ride it out with 6 laps remaining.
Boy, the fastest bullet in the chamber continues to be Cipriano. Now we have a yellow.
Matt
and
Galco.
Trouble for Galco, and an ugly front end of that car as that right front tire
Heartbreaker.
is ugly.
Well,
And our point leader has just run into a predicament on lap number 14.
Tim Rowe's race car set stranded on the front straightaway. What a heartbreaking situation for Matt Galco. It all began a little bit earlier when he was contending up front, and now you can see Matt is not pleased at all whatsoever, and as he is making one of the other drivers aware of that situation. What a shame, as he, as we said, was the point leader going into tonight's event, the defending series champion.
So get a program, and hopefully you will be able to win one tonight.
Let's see what's going to happen, Matt. We're about ready to go to green. Place your bets now. One thing we know for sure, a white car with blue numerals will be the car that crosses the line first. As they head off turn number 4, it is Joey Cipriano who does just that. Down through the grass goes 2 cars, out of harm's way. Oh, and we've got a spin. It is Cody Gennading. Cody Gennading spins to the bottom of the racetrack. Are we going to remain under green, or are we going to go to yellow?
Well, Gennady is not moving yet. He is in turn number 2 in the Tundra, and now the yellow comes out as the 77 car is able to get by. But
that's Antonio Massaro, who's spun to the center of the infield.
He was able to get moving again, but tangled in the weeds as the 89 of Gennady, and he was at second place before that happened. Right now, 2 guys going after the lead as they get ready to roar off a turn 4. The battle will be between Joey Cipriano and Shane Prucker.
Green flag is out. Look at Prucker giving Cipriano a run for the money. High side, low side, off the turn. They're wheel to wheel and side by side. It's Prucker by a chrome horn into turn number 3. Cipriano fights back. They're wheel to wheel, Matt, as they come off turn 4.
The 2 drivers are body pierced together. Here comes Prucker trying to get in the corner first. Cipriano answers back, and Cipriano is able to whirlwind his way into the lead. Prucker is not surrendering. We have trouble. That could be the 28 of Zach Asklar is on the turf. He comes back out of the track. We will stay under green. Cipriano stays in the lead, but look at that power move by Shane Prucker. Shane Prucker looks like Kyle Busch in a 45-mile-per-hour zone as he takes over the lead.
Down the backstretch, Prucker is out in front, gone. We've got a yellow.
Oh, and that is bad news for Shane, because we will probably go back to the last completed lap, and it would put Cipriano back into the lead. We'll check out the scoreboard for the official word. But what a move by Shane Prucker, just like the one we saw during qualifying tonight, as he was able to lightning bolt his way under Joey Cipriano, and that is not easy to do.
Well, it appears that the reason for the caution was debris on the racetrack, which they have picked up something just off turn number 4, and they are rechecking the surface down in turn 4, and the family Ford of Enfield Safety Services trucks are there also to check out the racing surface. So 16 now shows up on the board. And also Jay Goff, who looked like he was off the pace for a while, has come back among the top 5 cars. And Kopech has become a factor as well, and a good run for Charland with car number 1 in his 3rd outing. Green flag is out. They head off turn number 4. Cipriano is still the leader of the pack. Meanwhile, here comes Prucker again, and Frankie Cardiel, the Racing Mason. He's moved into the 3rd spot, looking as good as he did a week ago with a podium finish. Up the hill goes Kopech, bid for the lead.
Here comes Cipriano trying to hold it, and all over him like fog on a bathroom mirror. Here is Shane Prucker, backstretch. Prucker trying to move in. Cipriano holding him off, and Cardiel running a sturdy 3rd. Prucker like a python trying to strike, and Cipriano continues to deny him. New leader, Prucker, as they go into turn number 1.
There is 2 circuits remaining in this one. Prucker goes up the hill. Cipriano guards the spot. Here comes Frankie Cardiel. 3 cars contending for the lead. Wheel to wheel and side by side. Prucker on the outside. Cardiel there, 3 wide off turn number 4. To the line they come. It is Prucker. Cipriano back in the 2nd. and Cardiel in the third spot. Greer is into this one. Brucker drifts up the hill. Final circuit, 2 turns left, Matt, as they head to turn 3.
Cipriano gets into turn number 4. Cardiel trying to catch him. Here comes Cipriano, and zips across the line to get the victory. Joey Cipriano, followed by Cardiel. In car number 12, Shane Brucker. In car number 16, Stephen Greer was 4th, and Marbrino was 5th.
Well, he's just getting his hat on right now from USG, getting himself out of the United Roll-Off Services Gunsmoke Stables Chevrolet. He had to fight this one with the local boy, Shane Brucker, but climbing out, he is victorious. Tonight's winner, Joey Cipriano. The Sippy Cup has done it. He will taste the sweets of success here in CarQuest Victory Lane. Joey, you had to go door to door for that last restart. Take us back to that, and how exciting was that?
That was an awesome race. Me and Shane, definitely want to thank him for racing me clean. Frank for racing me clean. Our car really wasn't that good tonight. We were really loose, and I just really couldn't hold the bottom when I was under him. And he was quick, and I knew I had to get him on the restarts. That was the only way I was going to beat him. And then coming to the line, we were 3 wide. It was like, I knew it was going to be a close one, and then just got, really lucky, got a good break going into 1, and then down into 3, just, made sure I hit all my marks, came off. But I just want to thank everyone, Gunsmoke Stables Racing, United Roll-Off Services, AVI Pumps, Prospect Street Automotive, my family, Ryan Plord, all my crew guys. I hope the fans enjoyed that one. I know it was crazy from where I was, and just thank you to everyone that's helped this year.
All right, congratulations going out once again to Joey Cipriano. He takes down the win here in the SK Lights.
So our honorary starter is on a stand. She will wave that green flag to get the party started. And getting the party started for Pit Road is Joe Koss.
Well, Matt, we've talked about the success of Woody Pitkat this season with a different team than he was in the years past, or a different race car anyway. If it wasn't for a 24th finish at the Spring Sizzler, he'd probably be a little bit higher in the points. They finished second a couple of times this year. He'll start in the 10th position today. They said that they had a very fast race car. Woody Pitkat, the 89 car, might be a guy to keep your eye on tonight.
So our honorary starter is getting ready to wave that green flag. She does a great job, and so does Chris Matthews as he thunders into the lead.
Down into turn number 1, Matthews is looking good. Look at Foster. He goes to the outside.
Brainerd in trouble.
Oh.
And also it looks like Chris Jones perhaps in car number 39. He is stranded in turn number 1, so it didn't take long for the pyrotechnics to sound. How about a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for our honorary starter tonight. She did a great job of getting us started in the SK Modifieds, even though it was only for a half a lap. It will all be happening June 12th, 1 to 6 at the Doubletree Hotel and Shade Bar and Grill in Windsor Locks.
Here they come off turn number 4. Back to the line they come. Matthews with the advantage.
Montesano drifting up high. Let's see what Nicole Borgillo can do, looking strong in that flamboyant number 55.
Foster looks racy. First car to go to the outside. Here comes Malave as the inside lane opens up. Nicole Borgillo moves into second, takes Malave with her, and now Montesano fights back and digs in the outside lane.
Boy, that is not the twilight zone for Montesano as he is making his car work out there, and he is able to vapor trail his way into turn number 4. Nicole Borgillo trying to answer back as they jackhammer their way into turn number 1. Borgillo and Montesanto in a heated battle.
Battle side by side. Oh, Foster sets off the ripple effect. Outside lane looks racy in the mid-pack of cars. Dan Avery is there. Woody Pitkat, Ted Christopher just in front of them.
And also Malave is in the hip pocket, in the pocketbook of Nicole Borgillo as they ramble their way off the corner. Good move, Ryan Priest, car number 40, as he was able to get the best of Michael Jarvis. So Priest in a lap is moved from 6th to 5th.
It's great racing at the point. Matthews still holding off the big dogs, and Nicole Borgillo is in the second spot, and here comes Malave. But look out, Ryan Priest is running like a rocket. He is up to the top 5. Here comes Christopher, just as racy. Glenn Reen also looking good. Avery is there as they can, trouble. Foster.
Look at Malave getting underneath Montesano, and now he's going after the 55. And this might be the first time Nicole Morgello has ever had the lead in an SK Modified feature. She will be the leader after lap number 6.
And like a rabbit being chased by the hounds, she pulls away by about 2 car lengths. Here comes Priest, who was the fastest car on the racetrack last circuit by, believe it or not, Todd Owen, who's in the mid-pack of cars.
I believe we're watching history, Ben. The first female driver ever to be the leader of an SK Modified race here at Stafford, and she is leading by a toenail over Jeff Malave. Here comes Priest. He has room, but he is shut off by the Matador. Now the Matador is picking on Nicole Morgello.
The Matador, Jeff Malave, looks racy, peaks at the bottom, can't do it. Meanwhile, here comes Priest. That car is running on rails. Hitchcock's got that machine dialed in as he now takes over second.
The top 3 cars could fit in a bikini. Here comes Priest.
Trouble now.
And the yellow is out. We have Sean Foster on the grass on the backstretch.
Foster stopped beneath the Budweiser American Lager billboard. He's familiar with that. On the backstretch is he's going to receive the assistant.
The billboard
the
or the
record.
Lager? In an SK Modified as we get ready to turn the switch again.
Off turn number 4. Back to the line they come. And Nicole relinquishes the lead, and Ryan Priest takes it over. Leader number 3. Down the backstretch, Christopher coming to the front of the field. They're bunched up like a swarm of bees out of the nest.
And doing the most buzzing right now is Ryan Priest. Jeff Malave trying to duck his way under Nicole Morgello, and that just is not developing. John Montesano, one of the stories of this race so far, holding off Ted Christopher in car number 13.
Back to the stripe they come. 3 wide action in that pack of cars. Kid Rock thunders his way to the inside. He'll pick, oh, Christopher was in trouble for a moment. Glenn Reen, now look at Frank Rocco. He's also in that. 7, 8 cars contending, while car number 40 is the leader of the pack.
Keith Rocco trying to move around Todd Owen in car number 90. Remember, Owen did not run in the heat race because of difficulties. Malave moves past Nicole Morgello into second place, so he was able to screech his way underneath the 55. Christopher is next. Now a car in trouble is Tommy Bowles. Buckeye was able to get by him a little deeper in the field, but the sparks are flying between guys like Owen and Montesano and Keith Rocco and Frank Rocco, and almost 3 wide again.
That's the way they're battling, hot and heated in the middle of the pack as they come off the turn again. The 2 Roccos, no relations there. And now Matthews gives a shot to the back bumper of Frank Rocco. Montesano steps out of line, and it costs him a bit. 5 cars contending for that spot. That's currently the 9th spot on the racetrack.
And Keith Rocco continuing to be trapped on the outside. Frank Rocco is able to distance himself from that pack. And now Frank Rocco moving quickly in the 8th spot. The driver directly in front of him is Todd Owen. And then Dan Avery in contention as always for the championship. Things are happening for 3rd. That's where Ted Christopher is trying to vaporize his way underneath the 55 of Morgello.
Morgello still holding on to that podium spot of 3. Look a little further back. Dan Avery is being hunted down by Todd Owen, and here comes Frank Rocco. He's broken away. Meanwhile, Christopher moves in. Bottom shot move. He's got position number 3. Car number 13 is flying to the front.
You know, he really had to work hard to get it, though, as Nicole Morgello gave him anything he could possibly want. Now it is Reen in 5th. Todd Owen ready to make a power move underneath Dan Avery. They almost come together as they dive bomb their way off the corner. Here is tenacious Todd to move into the top 6.
We told you he was fast earlier. Who is the fastest? Ted Christopher, 19.062. That is good enough to qualify for a tour event, but these are SK Modifieds. Meanwhile, look at that. Woody Pitkat and Dan Avery.
Avery tried to recover, going to the wall. Dan Avery.
Oh, Dan Avery did a great job, had the car saved, and then all of a sudden it snapped around and made contact. But somehow, Matt, he was able to pull away under his own power. Here we go. Place your bets now. Off turn number 4, a pair of black cars at the point. Green is out, and Priest Motors on by. Teddy Christopher quickly snags the second spot. Oh, down the backstretch. Owen's car.
Owen's car might have got together with Nicole Morgillo as Owen recovering on the outside, but getting underneath him is Frank Rocco in car number 91. So Rocco is back into 6th. Meanwhile, what a battle for second between Ted Christopher and Jeff Malave as they scorch their way into the 3rd corner.
Great racing action for second. Christopher muscles his way. Reen isn't giving up, digging and digging. Right there with Malave. The two touch like cymbals in an orchestra, and now Reen is back into 3rd.
As he is able to spurt his way into 3rd, Frank Rocco tried to get underneath Nicole Morgillo, and Nicole had the veto power that time. Owen right behind Frank, then Woody Pitkat, and the 88 of Keith Rocco are together. As some of the big guns still have plenty of ammunition left, we still have the second race, half of the race to come.
Car number 54, Eric Byrne has been black flag and is being brought down on pit road.
What a 3-way battle between Nicole Morgillo and the 55. Frank Rocco almost sitting in her lap. Then it's the 90 of Owen. And now moving up is Kid Rock. Keith Rocco currently in the number 8 position.
Kid Rock said he had a fast car in practice, and now he moves to the inside, follows Frank Rocco, who is glued to Morgillo, and that's the battle for the 5th spot. Here comes Frank Rocco.
He's trying to blow by Nicole Morgillo. Let's see if he can do it. He does it. Now Keith Rocco is trying to duplicate that, so both of the Roccos get by Nicole Morgillo on the inside.
Todd Owen works his magic. Here comes Woody Pitkat. Back into the thick of things. Look at Malave. He's back under Glenn Reen, and that is, Morgillo goes around. And Buckeye hits at a ton as Morgillo spun to the bottom of the racetrack. Buckeye came up on it so quick.
Wow, a lot happened right there. We saw Glenn Reen, like he was in Ice Road Truckers territory on the slippery stuff on the outside. He lost his momentum. Malave was able to get underneath him. Then we saw Nicole Morgillo, who had one of her best runs of the season. If you look at the standings after the race, you're not going to know it unless you were here. But what an outstanding performance tonight by Nicole Morgillo, setting history, the first female driver ever to lead an SK Modified feature at Stafford Motor Speedway.
And she did it convincingly. There's no question about that. Black versus red. Priest and Christopher in the front row. Green flag is out. Priest with the advantage. Here comes Glenn Reen, and Keith Rocco went from the outside to the inside with a good move there. And now Reen is working over Teddy Christopher.
Christopher in limbo on the outside. Here comes Reen, and Reen, they cross the line simultaneously.
Good racing for second. Frank Rocco and Keith Rocco will soon be there. So won't Woody Pitkat, and Malave can't be counted out. Here comes Reen again.
And he is able to lightning bolt his way into second. Frank Rocco in 3rd. Now Rocco, let's see if he makes that bottom shot move against Reen. Not yet. And Ted Christopher is dropped from 2nd to 5th.
Good battle right there. Meanwhile, here comes Keith Rocco in the bottom lane. Kid Rock muscles his way up to the 4th spot, forcing Christopher back to 5.
That's one of the best rivalries in the Northeast. Keith Rocco against Ted Christopher. And that time it was Kid Rock getting the best of it. Frank Rocco goes around as he is punted in John Deere country, trying to come back out onto the asphalt.
He doesn't give up. Trouble now.
Joey Gaeta involved with Heather DeRocher.
Down in turn 1, and it looks like,
Also,
I believe the D'Alessandro machine
yeah,
is
Ron
the other car.
D'Alessandro and car number 14 is also there. Gaeta was able to drive away, and now Heather will drive away. Light the fuse, Ben. We are going to have some fireworks.
Off the turn. They go up to speed. Ryan Preece, Keith Rocco.
Keith Rocco has gotten by Rain. Let's see if he can maintain his edge as he leads by about a nostril over Glenn Rain. And now he's trying to track down Ryan Preece. Christopher has gotten to the bottom of the track, and Ted has become a factor.
Ted Christopher tries to get by Reen. It just didn't happen that time by. Meanwhile, Woody Pitcat and
Car
Malave.
around. It looks like possibly
Montesanto.
Montesanto.
Spins to the inside. Will he get it fired back up? It looks like he's trying.
But he is running out of time. The yellow beats him to the punch.
So the caution comes out.
Wow. But will he be able to dazzle Keith Rocco on this restart?
Here they come. Textbook start. Side by side. Paired off in rows of 2.
Keith Rocco, one of the best in restarts, on the outside, holding his own against Preece as they are welded together, and now Preece gets the advantage.
Down the backstretch. Here comes Christopher. Gets the second wind. Goes up the hill. 6, 7 cars stacked together.
Woody Pitcat trying to make a move on the inside. He is currently 5th. Ryan Preece leading by a hubcap over the 88 of Keith Rocco, who has room.
Whoa.
Here comes Kid Rock going for the lead.
Down into the bottom, shot move off turn number 4. Leader, Kid Rock. Preece doesn't give up. On the high side, wheel to wheel and side by side. Down the backstretch, closer than most people park. Down to the bottom of turn 3. No one's giving an inch. Back to the line. As they cross the line, timing and scoring says Ryan Preece was the leader that time by.
But can he keep it on the precarious outside groove? Christopher 3rd, followed by Reed. Pitcat in a battle with Malave for the 5th position. Here comes Rocco, getting the firepower. They blur off the corner. It is, I believe it's Rocco. We'll see on the scoreboard. And it is Rocco taking back the lead, but Ryan Preece, they are sharing the same Hodge device as they go into turn 3.
Side by side again and wheel to wheel. Off turn number 4 when they come back to the line. Let's see what's going to happen this time. It's still Keith Rocco in command. Preece is still second. Christopher, Reen, and Pitcat.
Boy, a battle between 2 of the best young drivers in the country. Keith Rocco on the bottom as he tries to jackknife his way off the corner. As they stomp across the line, it is still Rocco by about the width of a razor blade.
Meanwhile, Christopher comes back into this one. He's contending right there, waiting for that one lane to open. He gives Keith Rocco a little tap to the bumper, lets him know he's there. Here comes Preece. Not giving up, running the high side of this racetrack, and what a run. Oh, trouble. Avery and Matthews come together. Bringing out a caution.
4 to go, and also in trouble on the front straightaway is Ron D'Alessandro.
36, 4 laps to go. 2 miles. That's all it is, but it's not over with. And Kid Rock has the slight advantage.
Trying to move in was Christopher. He was denied. We pick up where we left off. Side-by-side duel between Keith Rocco and Preece. Preece having the edge as they went into turn number 3. Rocco with the advantage as they come out of turn 4.
Back to the
But
stripe.
Preece takes the lead.
Yes, he does. Ryan Preece is shown up on the big board as the leader. Short-lived. Here comes Keith Rocco. He takes it back. Meanwhile, here's Christopher. Here's Reen. All theirs as big factors. Coming to off turn number 4. It's Kid Rock in command. Here comes Christopher. Now trying to wear out Ryan Preece, the young gun, as they head off the second turn.
And Rocco knows if Christopher and Priest are battling, they won't be paying attention to him as he is leading by a toenail. They whiplash their way off the corner. One more time around. Keith Rocco trying to hold on. His arch rival was right there, Ted Christopher. They blister down the backstretch. Christopher trying to make a move. Rocco trying to hang out on top.
As they head down into turn number 3, Rocco feels nothing but the heat of Christopher. Down to the line. Kid Rock has done it. He'll take down the victory. Ted Christopher to finish in second. Ryan Priest to finish in third. Woody Pitcat for fourth. And Glenn Reen to finish in position number 5. 6th spot goes to Frank Rocco. 7th spot, Jeff Malave. 8th spot, Todd Owen. Brian Sullivan is 9th, and Michael Jervis will finish in 10th.
But right now, it's Keith Rocco time. What an impressive run as he took his time, made it through the field, and he was able to take the lead from Priest. He climbs out of the car. Kid Rock with Joe Koss.
Well, Keith Rocco receives congratulations from John Rafano. You know you had that guy jumping around on pins and needles down there with all that side-by-side battling. You got a new fire suit, but the same result. You're back in victory lane. Take us through that side-by-side battle. You and Ryan Priest, lap after lap after lap.
You know, the only way I could describe that is just respect. You know, Ryan's awesome to race with, and to race side by side like that and not even touch wheels, it's just awesome. You can only dream of that. So, nice job, Ryan. Nice job, Ted. Thanks to all my sponsors, Cordone and Son Construction, D&G Paving. We got a new sponsor, Susie Tracy LLC, D&G Paving, Wheelers Auto, John and Maynard Rafano, FK Rod Ends, VP Race Fuels, Troyer Race Cars, Northeast Race Cars, Petter Racing Engines, Buzzy Transmissions.
Well, for Keith Rocco, with all these new sponsors adding up, he had to get a new fire suit. So they did that, put a couple of new stickers on there, a couple of new logos that support that operation, and he's certainly off to a very strong season. Well, you know, Tom has been a very busy individual throughout the paddock area earlier today, and every time I walked by that race car, Tom had a rag in hand, and maybe he was polishing the wheels, or one time I saw him, he was cleaning that steering wheel, or I should say the windshield of that race car, making sure that everything was just so. That race car is still Tommy Fern's baby, and he was certainly there to make sure that it was going to be sent off in the best possible condition with Ted Christopher behind the wheel.
The story would have to be the men in the front row. We've got a gentleman who's literally a doctor sitting on the inside of the front row, and alongside Matt, you mentioned it best in your introduction in the starting lineup. He is one of the all-time winningest drivers in this division, long overdue for a victory. Tommy Butler has got a shot at this one.
23 victories during his Stafford career that started in 1980, 31 years ago. In the second row, a man who got an electrifying 100-lap victory last year, J.J. Hill, and Mark St. Hilaire, who won a late model championship at Waterford Speed Bowl and then decided to upgrade his career to come to Stafford in car number 3. He seems to get better every week. So now it is showtime as we get ready to raise the curtain on what should be a blockbuster.
Off turn number 4, there's the honorary starter with the green, and it is Butler with the color green to set the pace at the point. Butler running away like a scared rabbit from the dogs as he heads down the backstretch. Look at J.J. Hill, Matt.
He makes a bold move underneath Mark St. Hilaire. That is a fight for third in his hip pocket. Embroidered to his fire suit is Keith Rocco. Chased to the outside is Patrick Townsend. He loses some momentum in that 00 car.
Meanwhile, Pasacco tries to follow Teddy Christopher through heavy traffic at the back of the field. Down the backstretch, here comes Hutchings. He moves to the inside. There they are, wheel to wheel and side by side. Kid Rock drifts up the racetrack. Here comes Gray back into this one, and Woody Pitcat is threading the needle with Dylan Moltz with car number 94.
Yeah, Pitcat might have the needle, but Moltz has the thread as they team up to try to move their way through the pack. Big lead for Butler, but the man creating the action is Corey Hutchings in that number 87 car, and he is able to scoot underneath St. Hilaire, and now it is Rocco trying to do the same thing, and he does it.
Certainly does, and it is still a good fight as St. Hilaire drifts back a spot. Here comes Woody Pitcat. Pitcat goes down underneath Gray, further back in the field. Now it appears that Christopher's getting a feel for it, and so is in Passaco, as they continue to charge step by step to the front of this field. LaFaux slightly off the pace momentarily. Mavrogiannis driving cautiously. Your consistency you talked about earlier, Matt, is the story there.
He knows he can't win a race in the first 4 laps, so right now he's playing a waiting game. Playing the passing game is Woody Pitkat, as he was able to get underneath St. Hilaire, and a duplicate move by Dylan Moltz. So Moltz has missiled his way past Mark St. Hilaire. A battle for second is shaping up between John Casper, J.J. Hill, and 2 guys also in the vicinity are Corey Hutchings and Keith Rocco.
Those 2 cars run very, very close, trying to work over, but Hill has still got the 3rd spot. Now Hill puts the pressure on Casper for position number 2. It doesn't work this time. Little further back, Woody Pitkat reeling in, cat and mouse, like a Tom and Jerry cartoon, as he works his way to the back bumper of Rocco. Isn't going to stay there long. Woody Pitkat, last week's feature event winner, he's coming to the front with a vengeance as he now works his way by Hill. And who's the tail that wags the dog? It is Dylan Moltz with car number 94.
Last year's Rookie of the Year, Tim Fogg, is on the safety road, so he is out of the competition. So J.J. Hill got stuck on the outside, and about 5 cars went underneath him. A very healthy lead established by Tommy Butler in car number 4. It's been a long time since he's been given a victory speech. Trying to make something happen a little deeper in the field. That is the 71 of Walt Wasco. He took last week off, and right now he is working. So is Jim Peterson in car number 17. If there is one guy who knows how to be patient in the beginning of a race, it is Jim Peterson.
Peterson is always very, very cautious in the first half of the event. The second half is when he really puts the pedal to the metal. Now, again, he is applying pressure to Mavrogiannis. Those 2.
Rocco going after Hutchings, and going to the outside is Pitkat. So Hutchings finds himself surrounded by the enemy, and the man with the firepower, Keith Rocco, but he can't use it yet against Hutchings across the line together.
They come up on a lap car, the 33 machine, and that forces Corey Hutchins up the hill, and he loses 2 positions on the racetrack. Meanwhile, Woody Pitkat is glued to the back bumper of car number 7 for Keith Rocco. That's the battle for the 3rd spot. Little further back in the field, Gray hunting down St. Hilaire, and behind him is Mavrogiannis. Then it's Teddy Christopher, Peterson, and Passaco. 12 laps, just 3 laps shy of the halfway marker.
And that Mavrogiannis car doesn't even look like it's worked up a sweat yet. Look at that lead by Tommy Butler as he is on an island in car number 4. Rocco trying to do something against John Casper, but John Casper had a great run last week, and he really looks impressive again tonight.
Certainly does, and it continues to be the hot spot of the racetrack, as again, Woody Pitkat looks high and looks low, then runs right back in the tire tracks in that bid for the 3rd spot. Down into turn 3. 4 cars now make it 5 as Hutchins gets a 2nd win. Now throw J.J. Hill in it. They're all contending for that 2nd spot, currently held down by Casper.
Boy, these cars are running so closely together. If you make one bobble and move to the outside, it might take you a long time to recover. So these drivers have to be very careful as they navigate their way and whirlpool away. They're around the 4th turn, and Casper, a little shimmy that time, but nothing serious, and Rocco continues to hang out behind him.
It's a good battle with 5 cars contending for 2nd. And Casper's running like he's a veteran in this class as he currently sets in that runner-up spot. And Tom Butler is running away from the opposition. Now Rocco tried to make a bid for it. It just didn't happen. Trying to force Casper up the hill. Again, Here comes Pitcat. Gives him a little smooch. There's no love there.
Rocco stitched to the back bumper of the 9 car. Now he moves down low, trying to toboggan his way. The wild trip for Casper as he got caught on the outside. Rocco gets by, Pitcat gets by, Bolts gets by. So we told you, one bobble and it could be costly, and that's what bit John Casper right there.
It sure did, and now Corey Hutchins is trying to get down underneath him as well, and with him, he's bringing J.J. Hill. As Hill now comes back to life, they swap a little paint as they come off the turn. 19 laps and counting. Meanwhile, Pitcat still trying to chase down Keith Rocco for second, while Butler is gone at the front of the class. Mavrogiannis, Christopher, and Pisacco still run further back in the field, 10th, 11th, and 12th, with Jimmy Peterson now 13th.
Tommy Butler's best finish this year has been 7th. He is doing far better than that right now. Here comes J.J. Hill as he stampedes his way underneath the entertainer, Corey Hutchins. So J.J. has some voltage in that number 41 car as he imps his way past the 87 of Hutchins.
A good battle right there, and it continues to be the hot spot of the racetrack. This time, now, car number 3, Mark St. Hilaire, is able to shake off Corey Hutchins. Gray is still there, and now Gray moves down to the inside.
Good crowbar move there, and Mavrogiannis trying to make that same move happen.
And Christopher is staying with Mavrogiannis. Hutchins goes around.
Right underneath the Tech Deck and Molson sign. And that is our first yellow flag. It comes with 8 laps to go, and Tommy Butler, I don't think he's very happy about seeing yellow because he had a commanding lead. So Wasco is back out onto the track, and so is Peterson, and we are ready to resume a very critical restart for Tommy Butler. The turbo in car number 4. Rocco is to his outside. We get ready to go at full speed. Here comes Butler. Picture perfect on the restart.
Butler able to hold on, but Keith, trouble now.
Was that Hutchins again?
Yes, something again is not right with that race car, because the back end just went right around on him again for the second time.
Tony LaFoe involved in car number 82. And the yellow flag resurfaces. As usual, usually Corey Hutchins, you know that car has to be pretty off because, and now they come together again in turn number 3, LaFoe and Hutchins. So Hutchins will head on pit road. And right now he is running 12th. We haven't talked about him that much, but we could be talking about him a lot down the home stretch. Here is Butler again, and this time there's a little more turbulence, and it's created by Kid Rock. Here comes Keith Rocco trying to barnstorm his way into the lead.
Butler still not giving up on the inside lane. Down the backstretch, side by side and wheel to wheel. They head to turn 3, off turn number 4. Butler back in command. Pitcat gives him a push through. Meanwhile,
Dylan Mold shoving Woody Pitcat. So we have 4 cars who could fit inside an Easter egg. Butler getting all he can handle from Keith Rocco. Pitcat on the bottom. Remember, he came from 3rd to 1st a week ago to grab his first win of the year. Butler will beat everybody down the front straightaway.
he does it with finesse, but Rocco is still not going to give up. While all that's been happening, Pisacco has moved into the 8th spot. Don't say we didn't tell you so. 6 laps to go down the backstretch. Look at Pisacco reeling in on Mavrogiannis, the point leader.
Try for Butler. Here comes Pitcat to move in front. 3rd to 1st, 2 weeks in a row.
Dylan Moltz follows him through. Rocco settles back into 3rd. Butler can't believe his eyes. He's struggling now in the 4th spot. Further back, Pisacco and Mavrogiannis contending among the top 9.
It looked like Butler got stuck in the middle, and Pitcat took off, and he leads by about a Christmas tree over the 94 of Bolts. In third is Rocco, and Tommy Butler, who dominated this race for the first 22 laps, is in fourth.
Off the turn, back to the stripe. Now Mark St. Hilaire starts to apply the pressure to J.J. Hill. And that's the battle for the 5th and the 6th spot.
And then it's Mavrogiannis running right with Ryan Pasacco. And then it's Peterson. Look at Pasacco trying to make a move on Mavrogiannis, and Jim would have none of it. We're down to the final 2 laps. Woody Pitkat leading over Dylan Bolts.
2 circuits remain. 1 mile. Woody Pitkat looking for back-to-back victories. Moltz chasing him down. Rocco setting in the comfort zone in 3rd. Butler, strong run in the 4th spot. There's the white flag, but there's no surrendering among the top 3 cars.
Trying to seal the deal, Woody Pitkat extending his lead over Dylan Bolts. Keith Rocco is there. Butler is 4th, but the driver in the spotlight, Woody Pitkat. He is trying to go from 3rd to 1st for the 2nd straight week. He is 1 turn away from victory.
Off turn number 4, Woody Pitkat has done it. Back-to-back victories in the late models here at Stafford. Dylan Bolts to finish in 2nd, Keith Rocco for 3rd, Tommy Butler to finish in the 4th spot, and rounding out the top 5 is J.J. Hill.
So here he comes out of the race car, and we'll go down to our Master of Ceremonies for Victory Lane. Here is Joe Koss.
Well, Matt, Bill Snow told me earlier in the night that they were going to focus on them and do what they do best. Well, they did it tonight. They got the win. And Woody Pitkat, you've gotten that move from 3rd to 1st down pretty well over there in turn number 3. You found a way to make it exciting no matter what way you do it.
Yeah, I wanted to do it clean because I got a bad rap last week, even though I don't think I did anything wrong. I wanted to race Tommy clean. He did an outstanding job. He did what he needed to do, and he just got down in there and got loose, and that was, we're here to win races, so I had to capitalize on his mistakes or Keith's mistakes. So I just can't thank the guys enough. I mean, this is like really only our 4th race because obviously we raced 6, but we DQ'd out of 2, so it's like we're still behind everybody. So I just can't thank these guys enough. New Haven Truck and Auto Body. My spotter tonight did a good job. My daughter's here. We usually always do good when she's here. Just everybody. Billy the Kid, awesome power. BFR, great chassis. And the fans and everybody. I got happy birthday to my buddy Mikey down in North Carolina. And we're thinking of our friends out in Munson that had that terrific thing there with the tornado. So we're thinking of them, and this is for them.
All right, so Woody Pitkat, his 2nd win in a row in the late models and his 2nd of the season so far. Very strong run in car number 88, the New Haven Truck and Auto Body Machine celebrating here in CarQuest Victory Lane along with his daughter.